Hi guys, how you doing? Eliot Marshall here at Easton Training Center. I am the head coach of the Elevation Fight team based here in Colorado out of Easton Training Center in High Altitude Martial Arts. And I coach, we have a bunch of guys here. We have Corey Sandhagen, Curtis Blades, Drew Dober, Neil Magny, Alistair Overeem, and Austin Hubbard, all in the UFC with a host of up-and-comers coming up. And man, I'm excited to get to know you guys. Oh man, so the numbers by the name is really cool. I really enjoy that part of coaching, but I don't worry about it too much. I like to spend my time with people, and that's probably the most important thing. So whether you have a number by your name or not doesn't really affect how I would like to talk to you on a daily basis and what it is that maybe you can add to my life and then I can give back and add to your life. So the number by the name is cool. It's like an ego boost maybe, that you have guys with numbers by your name, but it doesn't affect really my day-to-day life. So I guess with that, right, you could say that my career was a failure, because the goal of every professional fighter is to be the world champion, you know, and or make a ton of money along the way, right? So neither one of those happened for me, so I failed, right? I failed, so which is okay. I'm really okay with that, because I've learned how to take that failure and just move it on to the next parts of my life, whether that be my businesses with Easton, whether it be the fight team and a coach, and look, I failed as a coach before. I failed at everything I've ever done, and that is kind of like what has helped me be a little successful, is that you just kind of keep failing your way through this whole thing. You know, we lose fights, we learn. We win fights, but it wasn't as how we would liked it, so we learn, right? Like, and that just finds your way to success. You just stay in it long enough. So for me, I had no choice. My life on the outside was fine, but for me inside, what was going on, the devil had a hold of me, and that wasn't fun. That was terrible. So I had to make a shift in my life to do my life better. And what I found was this honesty that I try to give now. And I'm sure there's a whole host of people that I probably wronged before this that think all of this is nonsense, you know. And I feel very bad about that maybe, but you know, there's a delineating point in my life when I had to change how I did things. And first and foremost, it's made me a better dad, right? And then it's made me a better husband. And now it lets me be a better teacher. And I really consider myself more of a teacher than I do anything else. I try to be a student of people, and I try to be a teacher to people. So that's really how I look at my life. And part of that is to be the coach of some really talented and lucky, I'm lucky, you know, and some talented and great fighters, where I get to look at all of my situations, whether I'm coming in to teach a class, an intermediate class, or a fundamentals class of jiu-jitsu, or I'm walking to the cage with Corey in his next fight for a title eliminator, right? Because that's what it's going to be. I get to look at it as, man, look how privileged I am that this person chooses to spend their time with me, you know, and that's just how I go about my life. So because time is the only asset that we can't get more of. So if somebody chooses to spend it with me, well then, man, I better do something to add to that time. I better not be taken away. I better not be making it worse. And obviously, you know, we all mess that up too, but then we get to mess it up a little better and better each time, right? Like we always have our mistakes that we might make, but it's not about the mistakes, right? The mistakes, these things are inevitable, you know? It's about what do you do with that information that you gained from the mistake? Can you take that and move it forward? You ask a lot of questions. You ask a lot of questions to them first, right? It's just everybody. Like rather than come at people with answers, because if you're asking me what 2 + 2 is and I'm giving you the answer to 1 + 1, I mean, I'm right, but it's not what you're looking for. Right? So first, the first step is questions, so that you can make sure that you're on the same page as the person and that you're going to provide the information that they're looking for. And that if you don't have the information, that you can then ask for some time to go gain the said information to bring to the table to offer. Philosophically, books. Books and other people who are better than me. You know, and other coaches that I've had, and to see how they do it. You know, Renzo Gracie, Greg Jackson, Faraz Sahabi. You know, I watch a lot of John Donaher, and like and I try to not only watch their techniques, but I try to listen to how they talk to people when that person's trying to perform a task. Technically, I find most of it. I'm in the grappling sense, you know, so I study a lot of John Donaher. You know, I try to study a lot of John Donaher. Man, yeah, sure. I guess what that means is I get to sit here and do this because, you know, you said you wanted to talk. I think we're the top fight team in Colorado, right? Like, I think we're number 2 in the world right now, maybe number 3. So, yeah, I get to be the head coach of that. But I'm not the head coach of anything, right? Like, I'm the one who does the interviews, maybe and I got lucky enough to get on Ariel and things like that, right? And to sit here and talk with you. But look, Curtis Blades, his head coach is Vinny. Corey, maybe Christian and I share that head duty. Who else? Neil, I think it's Cody. Alistair is Cody. Right? Like, so it's not like you don't see me in Curtis's corner because I'm not part of his coaching staff. I facilitate the team because this is my facility, you know. But this whole thing is not mine; it's ours. Right? This is a we thing because I can't do this by myself, you know. So I guess this is probably, you know, the second or third interview I'm doing recently because Ariel came out and said somebody needs to pay attention to Elevation Fight Team. So they go, oh, who's the head coach? And okay, it's Eliot. So here I am, you know. But that's not what this is. This is a whole host of people, man, all the way back to Amal Easton, who gave me the opportunity, you know, to have this amazing life that I get to have with martial arts and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So man, I'm sitting here with a whole host of people. I know you can't see them right now. We're in the people business, right? We're in the people business. First and foremost, the people business, they have to know that they're safe and they have to know that you love and care about them. And I know that's how you teach children, but that's how you teach adults too. That's how you influence an adult's life too. That's how I influence your life, and that's how my life gets influenced. If you don't feel safe, first and foremost, nothing happens. If you don't feel loved and cared about, nothing happens. Right? You shut down. You're unable to learn. So that's first and foremost. That the fighters, you know, because we're talking about fighting now, they know that they're loved and cared about by the coaches. Okay. Right? They understand that what they're doing is very unsafe. Right? Yes, so we you know, so that is our process from the jump. And then from there, you always have to be evolving. If you're not studying, if you think that you have the answers, then you might have them for 2020. But 2021 is going to come along, and you're not going to have them anymore. So who are you studying? Are you studying the best people in boxing? Are you studying the best people in wrestling? Are you studying the best people in jiu-jitsu? Are you studying the best people in Muay Thai? And you're doing that and then taking all of those aspects and bringing them where they're very useful, bringing them to this combined sport of mixed martial arts that we have. Are you doing those things? Or are you stuck in this is how I do it? I was 6 years old. I did, you know, the Karate Kid, the crane kick. I kicked a lamp in my house, knocked it over, and parents put me in karate. There it was from there. 6 to 18, I did karate. Right at about 17 years old, some of the guys that were doing, I did karate with my whole life, they started doing this jiu-jitsu stuff. This was 1997. So they beat me up, and then I kind of got into it in New Jersey where I grew up, but the closest school was Philadelphia, so it wasn't happening for me. I moved out here, met Amal Easton, didn't have any money, walked in, asked if I could clean the school. He said, it's your lucky day, cleaner just quit. Now I'm the owner.
Rest is history, right?
So of course, right, because I am who I am because of the experiences that I have in my life. That's what shapes us. That and our chemical makeup, right? Mm-hmm. So my chemical makeup is pretty set. The thing that's variable, like all of ours is, right? Unless you do some drugs to alter it, you know? So it's pretty set, but what we can alter is our experiences, and that's what shapes our life, and that's what shapes our thoughts and who we become and what it is we say. So man, there's nobody in this world that is luckier than me, and it's not because I have any set amount of money. It's because I had the most amazing experiences and the most amazing people, and I was given struggle at just the perfect level that I could actually handle. Right? Because if you think about it, in your worst times, what if it was 20% worse? Could you have made it? Nobody can say yes to that, right? None of us can, because we don't know. We don't know what 20% worse was like. So mine was perfect. Mine was so perfect. And that during all these times in my life, the great times and the bad times, I had such amazing people around me to either to just do it with me or help me get through it or whatever it was. So now my only job in the whole world is to give back to that experience, to that luck, to that dust that we don't know why it got sprinkled on top of my head, right? So my only job in the world is to sprinkle some of that luck dust back on other people. Well, everyone knows not to take me to Starbucks.
Why is that?
I'm a coffee snob. I'm a full-on coffee snob.
Okay.
I love good coffee. I'm a foodie. I'm a total foodie. I love good coffee. I love good food. I love to make barbecue. I have 3 grills in my backyard to be able to do different things. I mean, I'll use two grills in the same cook, you know, because that's what's necessary at the time, you know. So yeah, I'm a total foodie. And I'm a nerd. I'm such a nerd. I'm so corny and geeky, and I'm so dorky, you know. But I would like to say all of us are. I would like to say that LeBron James, when he's home around his people, not like in the media and getting filmed, I would like to say he's a dork too. I don't know. I would like to think he is. You know, I'd like to think his wife goes, "You are so corny," you know, and his kids are like, "Oh my God, I can't believe my dad just did that."
So what does that look like for you? You know, is that video games? Is that old comic books?
No, man, it's no. I really like to just video edit. You know, I'm learning how to video edit and like market. Like, I'm trying to teach myself. I like to learn. I really like to learn. So I'm learning how to. Right now I'm learning how to video edit and market and like lead generation and jiu-jitsu. Obviously, I like to listen or read a lot. Like, I like to get my mind changed so that I can see if I can do something a little better. Yeah, I'm just some dude, man, trying to make his way through the world, just like the rest of us. Do I do Dungeons and Dragons? No, man. I make fun of my fighters and my team, you know, like,
Well, because obviously, you know, in the fight world, there's a lot of guys.
There's a lot of guys who love all kinds of stuff, and that's amazing.
That.
Yeah, that's amazing. They do their thing. You do what you got to do to make it through the world. Just don't hurt anybody. Don't hurt anybody, and don't put anybody down. Right, and after that, like, if you want to believe in the spaghetti monster, if you want to believe in Jesus, or you want to play Dungeons and Dragons, go ahead, man, do your thing. Just be nice. You know, be a good person, and just try to keep that going.
Yep. Any last final words or anything that we might not have covered that you want to get out there to the audience? You know, keep in mind we're largely a Colorado-based audience, so you know, to anybody directly within this mountain region footprint that you may want to get out there.
I know you're Colorado-based, and I understand that. But I think this is for everybody. You know, your mama lied to you. You are not special, but you are unique. Everybody is unique in their own special way. That you can go out there and you can be amazing. There is nothing holding you back. Don't let anybody tell you you can't. You can. And you can go out there and find your power so that you can be as amazing as you want to be. And whether that be, you know, being the next Corey Sandhagen or Curtis Blades and, you know, probably winning the title, or whether that be, I don't know, inventing a different way to drive a car. I don't know what it's going to be, but you can do it, right? And it's going to be 100% on you. But the most beautiful part about that is that it's possible. That it's so possible with the right mindset and the right understanding of how amazing you can be.